Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nscrs Race Hub presented by Valvoline. I am your host, Dualsensory, along here with my co-host, Hey Yogi. Man, what a race last week! First road course of the season. Was pretty calm until about halfway through, and then it was all hands on deck. Punches being thrown, elbows were out. And we saw a pretty competitive 45 laps around the Glen, with race winner being Mr. Businessman. And we actually have him here. So let's bring on last week's race winner, Mr. Businessman. Come up on stage. Hello, Mr. Businessman. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
We're holding hands.
Well, you were pretty fast last week at the Glen. I was able to get it done. I know that was your first win at Watkins Glen. I'm being told by Statman, aka my memory. Just how does it feel to get win number one on the season?
It feels really well to change the momentum. I mean, we've had a pretty bad opening races with Rockingham just not having the speed, and then Las Vegas just not executing well. So it feels really good to get a win at Watkins Glen and to maybe turn this momentum around.
Right. Well, we'll be heading to Dover, one of your best tracks there, I say. But the new car, and I know you just said haven't really had the speed that you wanted compared to last year in the tank chassis. But this is you're like the Jimmy Johnson of this place. So you think you got what it takes to go back to back this weekend?
Well, I hope the guys at the garage can bring a great car. Hopefully we can get the strategy done. I really hope we could get another win at Dover. I mean, it's a pretty special track for me. Just always been pretty good here, always done well here. Gotten like 2 wins, I believe, here at Dover. One of my best tracks, I think, personally, along with Darlington. So I feel like these next few stretches of races, that number 3 car is going to be in the front.
Well, I'm sure that's not what the rest of the field wants to hear. You are the defending champion for the Cup Series. The Dover, the Monster Mile here, full concrete surface. This is where the Cup Series are going to be running this weekend. However, the Interstate Truck Series will be heading to Nile Crocodile. Now, Hayogi, you are a driver of that series. Kind of give us a little bit of insight at what awaits at the Croc.
Well, Nile Crocodile is definitely one of those tracks that are extremely unique. I mean, ever since we reconfigured it, we got the track reconfigured about a year ago. It's definitely been different. Because originally Nile Crocodile was always right around the top. It was 14 degrees of banking. It was not very steep, and now it's a very steep bank track. Corner radius is really tight, so you're probably going to see a lot of guys all over the racetrack. You're going to see them on the bottom, on the top, wherever they can really find speed. And I think with the reconfiguration, we tested it last season, and it drove really well in Interstate. So we're heading back there for Cup eventually. Not this week, but trucks are back this week. So we're looking to see quite a fast-paced race. The trucks are set up to the point where they kind of almost run full throttle. You barely have to tap the brake, and you can drive through the corner. So it's probably going to be a lot of fun, pretty aerodynamic. I think it's going to be a lot more drafty than what you'd normally see. So,
Well, I'm sure those interstate guys are gonna have a blast. I had the opportunity to watch some practice, and those trucks look fast going around Nile Crocodile. Definitely You called it a grip monster, just how the speeds you're able to carry through even the tightest of corners, it seems like, in the entire league. So it'll definitely be fun to watch. Be fun to watch you take that 56 truck around and around, and who knows, maybe you may walk out of there with a win. But let's shift back here towards the cup race. Obviously, we know Mr. Business will be a strong driver here. And besides him, we'll start with yourself, actually, Mr. Business, and work our way down. Who you got your eye on this weekend for the Cup Series race at Dover?
I'm gonna keep my eye out on that number 81 car and that 17 car. Brad has notoriously been pretty fast here at Dover. I remember in season 3, he was probably the most dominant car of that race. So I'm gonna be watching that 17 car. I'm also gonna be watching Ski. He's kind of gone off to a slow start, and I feel like that momentum might pick up here today. I mean, it's kind of his track, high banked, intermediate. Um,
All right. Hey, Ogie,
Yeah.
who you got your eyes on?
For Cup, well, I'm gonna have to throw it back. Last season, this race wasn't broadcasted, but Brad picked up a win here. I'm saying he comes back home with another win. 2 on the season. I think he puts 2 on the season here.
Well, I'm going to complete the trifecta here, and I also think Brad's going to get the job done here. Uh, I just really think I think that win at Vegas has kind of, he kind of got a little bit off his game at Watkins Glen, but he hasn't really been the best at the Glen, but he has been superb here. And the road course cars are different from the main chassis that we use. So his last time in these new chassis was a race that he won. So I'm sure he'll be able to carry over some of that momentum. Probably even race up there for the win. I wouldn't be surprised if it came down to the gentleman to my left and Brad. But we'll start with you, Heyogi. Who you got your eyes on for Nile Crocodile?
Uh, well, now Crocodile is similar in way to Rockingham. Um, so maybe Al Capone. Al Capone is always a force of nature at these types of places. I think it could really be anyone's game tomorrow, though. But I guess I'd go with Al.
All right, Mr. Businessman.
You're gonna have to agree with Hyogi on this one. I don't know much about the truck series, but I feel like Al Capone could get it done. I mean, if any of the Cup guys do now Crocodile, like Ski, I feel like it's either gonna be Al Capone or a Cup guy that'll be in victory lane at Nile.
All right. Well, I'm gonna swing the other way here and go with an interstate guy. I think Zach's gonna get it done this weekend. I got a good feeling that Nvidia truck looked pretty fast in practice, and I'm hoping that this weekend's the weekend we snap that 4th place curse for him. I think Zach gets it done here, or I shouldn't say here, but over there at the Croc. Well, this is a little segment that we like to do, have fun with. And, we aren't in Vegas anymore. And I forgot the Glen. But instead of doing Sensory's picks, I'm going to swing it. And we're going to call it Mr. Business's picks. So, Mr. Business, if you had the, $5 in your hand right now, who's your betting man for to get the win at Dover?
Like I said, I put my money probably on Brad. I mean, he's been really good here, and he's won a few times here, I think. So I feel like he could get it done. But like I said, I wouldn't count out any of those good intermediate guys like Ski, because he's usually been really good at intermediate. And I feel like he could also get the dominant car here today. But if I were to bet on one person, I'd probably bet it on Brad.
All right. Well, that's it's a very favorited pick. He has the second highest odds to win, just right behind you, Mr. Businessman. Hey, Ogie, $5. Got to put it on somebody. Who's your moneymaker for Dover?
I always go with long shots here. I have a
Oh,
feeling.
yeah.
I have a feeling the end of this race is going to come down to someone random. I'm going to go with. I don't know. I think Ski might be in it at the end. Ski might be there. I don't think he'll have a great day, but I think at the end he'll find something.
Well, we like a long shots pick. Hey, gotta take some risk if you want to win it big here. Me personally, if I had $5 right now, well, personally, I'd go use it on a slot machine. But besides the point, I think you can't go wrong with the favorite. I think I'm gonna put it on you, Mr. Business. I just got a good feeling. I watched this man last season, which it was different chassis. In different series. I had a good view of what this man can do here at Dover, how dominant he can be. So I think that experience will carry over, and he's going to get it done. So that leads us into our final segment of the evening. The NNSR, truck race. That banner reminds me of something here. We know Nile Crocodile can be high speeds, and the truck race hasn't exactly had the cleanest of finishes. Do we think it's another wreckfest there in the truck race?
Yes. Moving on.
Well, I guess the last thing I got then is since the truck race is going to be a total disaster, I'm pretty sure. What's the scheduled distance again, Hey Yogi, for the Cup race?
Fuck if I remember, dude. Hold
Oh,
on,
if it's anything like real life, it's
That
probably
is
going to
not
be.
how you spell docs. That is Google Cox. 250. Wheeling 250.
Right around, or probably exactly 250 laps, as Dover is a mile long. Well, what is the lap distance then, my friend? This is a stat guy over here.
Hey, guess who is right?
Yeah, all right. Well, 250 laps here. That's gonna open up the door for pit strategy.
God damn,
I
why
think-
are these races so long?
I think we can definitely get some type of green flag runs in if everyone minds their P's and Q's. No. I have blown up. Well, I'll just kind of talk from in the studio here, I guess. Yeah, 250 laps. Fuel runs are about 30 to 35 laps here. That's going to create multiple opportunities to pit. And, I think we can at least get just one fuel run in. But, gentlemen, what do you think? Mr. Business, do you think... I see you're missing your right hand there. You think we get... think we get some green flag stops?
Most likely Dover's that kind of track where mostly everyone gets kind of spread out, but we could have a Las Vegas incident where a track that's usually notoriously good for long runs and good for green flag pit stops can go to utter chaos. So it's really a mixed bag. Depends on who you talk to. But personally, I feel like that we will have a few green flag pit stops, and I feel like that they will matter in the race.
All right. Hey, Yogi, you think we see green flag pit stops?
Why are we... I feel like it's an obvious yes. I have a feeling you guys are going to go... Vegas was so retarded, I don't think anyone is going to try to make as much moves as Vegas was just because they don't want to sit at a fucking chair and turn into mold and rot for 5 long, tumultuous hours like Vegas was. So, yeah, I'm hoping that we don't get any non-green flag pit stops at that point. Let's run the whole race green. Yeah, that's my long shot. Bet on the whole race going green. You're going to lose all your money.
Well, even 1 cent turns into $1 million if you get that right. Well, you know, that's the beauty of this is it's regardless is going to be pretty entertaining. There's been some entertaining races so far this season, and if we do see green flag pit stops, gotta watch out for pit road. Now, some guys haven't had their tacks set right this season, so we hope that they get some practice in to try and set that. But even if you do have your tack set, it can be pretty easy to speed down there. Pit road speed being 45 this weekend. But, I mean, pit road can win or lose you the race. If we go back, the Vegas, actually, Mr. Business, you were dominant all the way through. Sped on pit road, got mired back in traffic. That kind of shows how important track position is. As a driver, how important do you think track position will be this weekend?
I feel like it'll be pretty important. I mean, did a few practice laps here. I feel like track position will be really important because just how the setup is configured and how everything will probably, unfold. I feel like if you're in an overtime restart, you gotta be in that top 3 because if you aren't, then you probably have 0 chance of winning.
That's gotta be racist.
All right. Well, looking at the time here, I believe we are out of time. One final thing. We didn't get to cover it last time, but we heard you had a bit of a flight trouble, Mr. Business, on your way to the Glen. You didn't have any flight trouble this week. What happened? The plane just never flying economy again, huh?
Yeah, you stay here. Both engines just shut off and they bursted into flames and then, just crashed into the ground. And I was the other one who survived because everyone else sucks.
All right. Well, I believe that's going to do it for the Dualsensory pre-race show. Harry, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Shit, I forgot.
All right. Well, thank you, Harry. Thank you, Mr. Business. Make sure to catch the truck series, the Interstate Battery Truck Series at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Nile Crocodile this upcoming Friday. And don't miss the next night, 7 p.m. That's this Saturday. The Valvoline Cup Series comes here to Dover. Should be entertaining on both races. Both same start time. Just Trucks Friday, Cup Saturday. And we'd like to thank everybody for watching the pre-race show. You guys have a good rest of your Wednesday night.
Yeah, all of that was just